Welcome back to Yelling at Trees, where we oftentimes yell at trees. It sounds a little bit like this.
Ah, your mother was a shrub.
Get off
Splinter
my
this.
lawn. Seriously, we have a good time. If you haven't listened before, I understand completely. I get it. If I weren't the one making this, no, actually, I've enjoyed listening to them because I've listened to them every once in a while.
So that's where all of our views come from.
No. Yeah. So here's what's happening right now. Without like really promoting this at all, or even telling people that we're doing it, somehow we're getting like 9 or 10 people a day listening. We've made an incredible $1.60 in the last 2 months.
I think I can retire now.
I feel
Yeah.
like that's slightly optimistic. Are you sure it's $1.60?
No, it says $1.60,
Oh, wow.
and it went up recently from $1.20. So like every week we're making about a quarter, which
Cool.
is
We can share a pack of gum now.
Oh, I'm not sharing my gum. We could share
A stick of gum.
a York
piece of
pepper-
gum.
a York peppermint patty at a Mexican restaurant. It's a quarter. Yeah, I'll share that with you,
I was going to say, we could get 4 of them for $1. We're
Right,
all
right.
set now.
dude. That's enough for all of us, and then one. Ooh,
We need one more.
we have an
Technically
extra
two,
one to hold on
actually.
to for later. But anyway, all that to say, that is actually kind of fun to listen to, which is shocking because I know from personal experience with women that I am not entertaining.
Yeah, that's agreed.
There is a silent consensus happening in this room right now that you can't see because you're listening to us.
Yeah, you can't hear us
Semi-silent.
nod.
They're all like,
That's right.
"It's true."
We're trying to. Well, when you're funny when you're the one laughing the most at your own jokes. That's what I know I'm funny.
Right.
Except
Ben
waitresses.
is a father, by the way.
Yeah.
You seem to do well with waitresses.
Yeah, but that's because they expect me to give them money, and so they know that I will leave eventually, and they'll have my money.
Yeah. So you're
Which
buying.
I would
less.
always assume that's how dating works too, but it doesn't seem like that is how it works.
Different conditions, same
Yeah.
outcome.
Because the waitresses already have access to food, so dating is not really important.
Correct, yeah.
Right. Anyway, I'm Adam, the sad, lonely person of the group, and let's go around the circle.
Not the only lonely person.
No, I'm Ben.
I'm Ross.
I am Corey.
Yeah, that's Corey. Corey's my brother. Ben
other
is
lonely person.
my friend, and Ross is my also friend.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of my boss, right?
Nice.
Yeah.
No,
No.
not,
Different departments.
I'm not
lateral
claiming
connection.
that one.
I was gonna say if he was your boss, you would have to laugh at all his jokes.
He's
Yeah.
he's
If,
smarter than he looks because my immediate comment after that was and responsible for all of my mistakes.
Yeah.
But yeah, tonight, today, whenever you're listening, at this hour, this very hour, this minute, right now, we are going to do something that we love doing on Yelling at Trees, and we are going to listen to and at some point mildly ridicule a dream that my brother Corey has had recently. His dreams are wild and crazy, and this is the best way that we can share them with people. They're always entertaining. The goal at some point is probably to make a bunch of comic books out of them because they're that ridiculous and entertaining.
Thanks.
But none of us know how to draw on
True.
on any level. Corey,
No,
if
not
he
at all.
if he had to, could paper mache art for you. But
if you give me a couple days, I can draw flies.
nice. Do we have to like stop feeding you first, or
No, just keep me out of the shower.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, draw like
Yeah.
in worship songs where God draws people near
Yeah.
to Him.
Yeah.
In that story, people are flies. And
I'm
God
like a
is
fly.
Ben.
I'm like a god to flies.
Ah,
Basically.
that makes sense.
I'm like
Lord
a god
of the
to flies.
We did it.
That was
That's a high five.
slap
I
hands.
hope we can hear that.
That was yeah, that was good. Good times. That was a good one, Ben. You worked on that one pretty hard. It was a nice setup, nice delivery.
There
good
wasn't. There
timing.
wasn't like 20 minutes of build up like
Took
my
like a
normal
month
jokes.
and a half to figure that one out.
Ross is over there like, what?
And again, I'm the
Maybe.
one laughing the hardest at my own jokes.
It's based on a book that I was forced to read as a child. About a magical horn that people blew into and a pilot that died.
Yeah, I don't read books.
That's
Same.
a good description of that
Unless
book.
they've got pictures.
Yeah, but then
I
they're
read
not called
comic
books.
It does have pictures,
graphic
but they're not good
novels.
pictures.
There you go.
Yeah. So
I
anyway,
read coloring books.
That sounds like the plot to the Hatchet book too. Is like
It's
Pretty much.
It might be the same author actually.
oh, it's a lady author, I think. Maybe
Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't either.
If I really
sure
thought
it's
about it, I
important.
could tell you, but I don't want to think about it or tell you.
Right.
It's
Hand
not
me the
important to
ocean.
Here, have an ocean.
I could probably tell you the author's name if I were to read
They're also
the
cup
name off the
holders.
book. Nice.
Ooh, they hold cups.
I need to
so
get a cup.
good.
Actually worked pretty well for that.
Here, have a cup holder.
Perfect size.
Ben's got an empty
That's a
cup
lot of cups.
on his cup holder. Yeah. So, Corey, tell us about the dream we're talking about today.
So, this dream I titled "The End of the World."
Ooh.
What's it about?
It is about the end of the world.
Oh, that makes sense.
That makes
When
sense.
does
It's a
when
good
does it
name.
happen?
Yeah.
Good name.
Applicable.
At what point in the history of the world does it occur?
Now.
Pretty close to now.
Yeah, I was going to say
because
like
at the
right now.
end of the world
in
or
the
at
dream,
the beginning of the world?
me and Adam are living
Okay.
together, so it's pretty close.
No, God.
Well, we're all screwed.
Why do I feel like I should be offended?
But this is also an inception because it's a dream within a dream because I woke up into another dream and then I woke up for
So
real.
there's
So
a top
that's
So-
spinning.
My reception on Inceptions is not good, so
Yeah.
makes sense.
I didn't understand Inception. It didn't make any sense to me because I didn't watch most of it.
I fell
Oh, that
asleep.
explains-
I haven't seen it. At
I've
all.
watched it 3 times in a row and fell asleep 3 times
It was
during
dumb.
it.
There was that one guy, and he was like,
It wasn't
saying
like
something about
ironic. I wasn't
jumping,
trying to.
whatever.
I was
That
really
it.
tired.
There's a lot of big names in it too. But
All I remember is the top.
Yeah, that one guy's got 3 names. He was in it.
yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
That's a big name.
It is.
That's like Alfonso Ribeiro Martinez or something.
Yeah. Their parents were
That's a
ambitious
pretty cool
on
name.
that one.
Named after a car, Alfa Romeo.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
Yeah. I'm gonna give my son a big name one of these days when I have kids.
General Motors.
Yeah. Yeah. And people are gonna have to
Everyone have-
salute him.
That is a big name.
I'm gonna call him
Sony.
Apple.
He is the very picture of a modern major general.
This is my son, the Apple Computer Company. Suck it.
Inc.
Ink. It's not Junior or anything at the end.
It's
It's ink.
incorporated.
This is my son, Apple Computers Inc.
Ink?
Inc.
Like really? Like ink?
INC.
Yeah, it's not short for something. It just means ink.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, Corey, how you doing?
Okay, good. I'm gonna start my dream now.
Maybe you should wait.
Do it.
Maybe you should wait about
Stay awake long
2 or
enough
3
to tell
minutes.
us, though.
What do you think? So set up for us as we get ready to jump into this story. Remind us really briefly of some of the crazy dreams you've had that we've talked about.
That we've talked about here. Okay.
Because I know there was the Genghis Khan
Genghis Khan.
one. Genghis
Yes.
Khan.
That was a fun one where I basically interrupted a like a quick stop robbery, and they were 2 big Mongol-looking dudes. And when I went outside, there was a club standing in the ground, like sort of like Excalibur. And when I grabbed it, I gained the powers of Genghis Khan, and the 2 Mongol dudes started following me and chanting Genghis Khan, Genghis Khan. So it
Nice,
was pretty
nice.
awesome.
What's another good one?
Another good one is let's see. Recently I had the Chaos Crusade dream, which was
That sounds fun.
included Godzilla and futuristic police.
So this is the Monster
and
Island one.
The
that we
Monster Island,
recorded.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh.
I called it Chaos Crusade, but it was Monster Island because the whole thing took place started in the Monster Island. I went to the mainland, but then we were going back to the Monster
Right,
Island.
and there's
so
some
it was
very interesting physics that don't really occur
There was
in
an
nature.
island with
so-
monsters. That's what I took away from
And there was
Yeah.
like rivers running every which way and up and down too.
So is
Yeah,
this
that's
like
crazy.
Jurassic Park meets Scooby Doo kind of a thing?
That's the best
you'll have
description
to-
of a
you'll
thing
have
I've
to
ever
listen
heard.
to it.
But that wasn't what happened in
You'll
the
have to
story.
listen to
Well,
it. It was
dang.
pretty
Oh,
cool.
well.
It was very fantasy adventure like. But
What I get for
Don't break
missing that
chair.
one.
We need it.
I'm about to turn this chair into a recliner, I think, because
No, I think it's
heard
more
a
like
pop or
toothpicks.
crack.
we also
When you
had
hit
my,
wall, brace yourself.
we also had the vampire infiltration dream.
That's true.
Where I was a teenager version of myself and I
You're-
infiltrated the vampire's base at my grandma's old house.
Which,
yeah.
if you
Yeah.
know any
Every-
of the people that visited my grandma's old house, you'd get it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then
Not far off.
I busted a vampire drug ring that the drug would make them able to go out in daylight and things like that.
Nice.
Daywalker drugs.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
I also had a dream where I was a demon in hell, and I was kicked out of hell by Satan.
Because you were too
and,
polite.
So you know it's bad when he doesn't even want you.
took vengeance on this
Like,
kid's
get
family who
up.
I possessed because they all abused him.
And don't forget, most recently, the council dream, too.
Yes, the council was a good one.
That one was like a platonic...
That one was crazy.
Like, ethereal
there was Plato.
existence thing.
Yeah. They were like...
Yeah.
Where you represented all of
Yeah,
humanity.
there were aspects of reality represented.
And you were
in this
just as
council.
confused as all
Yes,
humanity.
yes.
I loved it.
was.
I'm confused right now
Yeah, so am I.
because there were zebras probably in that dream, but not that we talked about them.
And
We
a
just
girl
said-
with a long flowing robe who was taller than
Yes,
him,
the avatar looking.
but very appropriately dressed.
right Statue of Liberty,
There you go.
but different, not French. Yeah, but anyway,
Italian?
so let's all take a deep breath and then we'll jump into the story. By the way, if you are listening to this podcast, it is because of Anchor.fm. Anchor is a free app in the App Store for any mobile device. There's also an app on the computer and a web interface, and it lets you record your podcast right there on that device. You don't have to use like sophisticated Pro Tools or Logic or a mixer board or any of that fun stuff. You just hit a button and you talk about what you want to talk about.
I like it.
I like it too. It's really exciting because you can make a podcast and it distributes it to like 12 or 15 different podcast services all at once on their end. You don't actually have to like go submit it to iTunes or something like that.
That is super convenient.
It is super convenient. It's great. And you can do sponsorships. So you can do like little promotional commercial type stuff. And then they give you some money,
Yeah.
which money is nice. It gets things and stuff.
Correct.
Yeah. Highlights. Free app. Easy distribution. Instantly record.
Done.
Yeah. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. All right. Tell us more.
All right, so me and my brother Adam here, we were living in a
Oh,
trailer
God,
park.
I'm in this one.
Yeah. We survived the end of the world, but so we were living in this trailer park. It was kind of small and run down, and we were on the outside row that had tree lines surrounding
He's
it.
describing my childhood
We did live in a trailer as a children,
Yeah.
so that was kind of
as a children.
As a
as
children.
I remember it was
As a
just
children
like that.
would.
It
There
was
was lots
just
of
like
times
that.
had there. So yeah, we lived on the outside one, and our trailer wasn't the best. It had ugly brown torn up wood on the outside and a carport awning thing that covered the whole concrete slab. And so here comes the action. So
Okay.
I hear a rumbling of like airplanes outside. So I run outside to check it out because that's what we do. We hear airplane, we look up and try to find it. But there was like lots of airplanes.
With lasers. Pew 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 pew.
So I get out onto the road, and there are several planes, including like stealth bombers and cargo shit planes, and all kinds, going in all kinds of directions. Like not just like going
Yeah.
one way. They were all
North,
like
South,
every which way.
Other directions.
And
Southeast.
Southeast.
one of the
South by
planes
southeast.
is dropping stuff out the back.
So
It looks like big meatballs that they each pop a parachute as they exit. So they're coming down in like a line of meatball-looking things.
finally spaghetti. Oh,
So, oh yeah. I said
Are those plane droppings you're talking about?
Then another line of parachutes is on the other side, but it's much farther away. The closer ones are slowly falling, and they land just behind the tree line. One of the parachutes.
meatballs.
Sorry, I'm reading, and it's. I say one of the parachutes.
He
seemed to
writes these
open
down, by the way,
backwards.
Got
in
to.
his phone.
The parachute
Important.
was towards the ground as the ball was above it, but not falling.
It's a hover meatball.
Something like that. This one started floating into another one and got tangled in it.
Oh,
And then
I
the
hate
balls
when that
started
happens.
sticking
Don't you
together.
hate when your balls
and
get tangled?
merging.
You're right.
It's the worst.
And,
Torsion.
So
so they were
terrible.
starting to stick together, and they were.
I think you're going
very
to lose a ball
slowly
if you're not
floating.
careful.
Be careful.
Oh gosh.
Then another got pulled over, almost like a magnet, and they just started sticking to each other, one and another and another and another.
Oh,
about
God.
about 5 in total stuck to each other before
Meatball
they
monster.
made it below the tree line and out of sight. Then another rumbling started coming out of the ground, like the whole ground was shaking. So I yelled for Adam to get out here right now. You have to see this. This is crazy. And about I guessed on distance. I can't tell in my dreams, but I guess about 30 feet from our trailer.
That's
Very-
pretty close.
Very,
Yeah, that's very close.
yeah. So from our trailer, a giant metal thing was starting to rise up and come from the ground. It was rumbling and yeah. And then about 30 more feet away, a second one was rising.
Was it like
up.
a shiny one, like a Colossus, or more like a
It was like
It's like a giant Wolverine claw.
I don't know how to
Rawr.
explain something that looks like
did
like
it look like
it was
rusted
Nope,
metal or
not
something?
going to explain
no,
that
it was
one.
shiny metal, even though it was coming out of the ground, so it probably should have been dirty, but it wasn't cylindrical. It looked more like the shape of an airplane wing, but it was kind of thick.
Well,
I'm trying to mold it with my hands in the air here, but it's
Exactly.
not like that.
okay.
But it was
So-
very
so
tall.
far, they got balls in a shaft.
Yes, there's meatballs over here. There's Colossus coming up here. I don't know.
And a steel shaft coming up from the ground.
The picture is getting pretty clear,
It's the whole
friend.
package, guys.
And this is why you don't eat sugar before you go to sleep.
Maybe. But it makes for entertaining podcast, right?
Yeah.
Right. We love hearing about balls and
So another.
gravity.
Anyway, these two metal things came up. They stood as tall as the trees and they were kind of a darker colored metal.
Big black metal.
I like it. Let's go. Let's
They
keep going.
started to light up and turn. It reminded me of an anti-air gun, but there was nothing that looked like a gun on it.
So they're like turrets.
They're
Yes,
turrets without the.
There you go,
Yeah.
Okay.
turrets.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
Turrets. That's French for spins around. Turret.
So it started to light
Turret.
up like it was charging and shot at the planes with a
Uh-oh.
blast of like
Pew,
slow-moving
pew,
energy.
pew. I was totally right about the lasers. Ah!
Lasers. Laser beams on their
Lasers.
freaking heads.
So it was
Are they
shooting like
ill-tempered?
slow-moving balls of energy towards the airplanes as they're up there.
Balls.
And
So many balls.
back at the tree line, it started shaking like a dinosaur or something was going to come out of the trees. You know,
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
like when a Jurassic Park T-Rex is stomping, the trees are shaking where it's at.
Copyright infringement. Continue.
Yeah. We do
it
not
was-
own this content.
It was the meatball-looking things. Well,
I'll
here I
remember
said-
that in Jurassic
Here I
Park.
said they were metal balls, so they
Ching,
probably
ching.
weren't supposed to be meatballs.
Were
They
they
were
playing
probably
together?
metal balls.
Ding.
Just changing your story.
Do they spark when they hit each other?
Well, when I wake up, I'm writing this down really fast, so maybe
Oh, yeah.
that's why I have some spelling
Because
errors.
meat is obviously a typo from metal.
Yeah, it's very close, ain't it?
Yeah, metal, meat. Yeah, I get it.
Sure.
Meat
Yeah.
L.
If you were to write metal balls, of course, Siri would go, "You mean meatballs?"
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So anyway, they had combined into this big cube-like shape with big speakers attached to it. It had kind of a screen
block
on the
party.
front of it and looked like a big alien iPod.
And no women involved.
I get that. Was there? Is it scroll wheel style or the
Yeah,
newer ones?
Sausage fest.
Like a scroll
basically.
wheel.
Okay.
It
all right.
had that, and it had like big like boombox speakers or like those speakers
You run up and go
on the sides of it. That would have been fun. But it played a sound that was like some jingly kind of music, and the sound waves
Johnny Cash.
blasted the cannons, and they
Full subtrade.
exploded.
What?
What?
Yeah. So like it had like those big kind of speakers, and they were like blasting
This-
sound waves.
An old timey phone rang and everything exploded.
Yeah.
Ah.
But it was
Jing.
like focused sound wave that it
Jing.
was blowing stuff up, and it blew up the turret things.
Nice.
Uh,
Wait, the turrets are bad?
no, the turrets were good. The
Oh,
metal
God.
balls are some
We're
sort of
losing.
alien.
Yeah, so you
Yeah,
gotta stay
pretty
away
quickly.
from the metal
That's why
balls.
it's the end of the
The
world.
evil
run toward the
iPod
turrets.
is destroying us all.
So me and Adam ran back into the trailer instead of going.
Yeah,
in,
we did.
No, we ran back to the trailer because we were in the street.
Because nothing protects like tiny wooden framed aluminum walls.
It was such a bad idea. Instead of going side, we hid underneath the trailer.
Oh, that's better.
There was no skirting
Safe from the
around
tornado
it,
there.
and
Right.
it was on a solid concrete, so it wasn't like dirty and nasty like under a regular trailer.
So now they know exactly what kind of white trash we were when we grew up.
That explains a lot.
We couldn't even afford the skirting that made our home look like it was attached to the ground.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, that's what happens when we live
Tell us
together.
more.
So it was concrete, so it wasn't dirty, and we could see all around because there was no skirting. The alien machine started floating around into the trailer park and blasting anything that moved with its sonic wave things. all the while playing its merry little tune as it
Don't
was
move.
going.
I don't want to listen to 80s rock.
Probably kinda like
a merry
the-
No,
little
no,
tune.
you know what it
That's
is.
exactly
It's
how it
Like an
disco.
ice cream, like an ice cream truck.
like an ice cream truck.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, that's hilarious!
So it moved up and down the street
Boom!
like a robot facing one direction, and then it turned and faced the other and went back
Oh.
up the street.
I hate One Direction. Sorry, go ahead.
When it came towards us, we covered ourselves with a blanket and got still and quiet. It seemed to pass over us without noticing. It made about 4 passes around the inside of the park, and then went into the tree line behind us for another round.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, you got to go into the tree line for the other round.
Yes.
It's going to get worse. I can tell.
So after it paused for a minute, it turned and floated away towards a neighborhood that was on the other side of, I guess there was a field on the other side of the tree
Take
line.
that, Brenda.
And then there was like a neighborhood of actual houses and not trailers. And there were train tracks and dirt roads
Yeah,
and stuff.
the people
between
in
us
real
and them.
houses can't just hide under them.
Yeah, right.
So when
Take
the coast
that.
was clear,
Duh.
we didn't hear any more explosions and stuff. We came out from under the trailer and looked around. And everything was totally destroyed and flattened down to the ground like a tornado had been through it. Took everything.
But for some
Like a
reason,
tornado
we decided
in a trailer
not
park.
to do that to
Right.
the one trailer that had people under it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, science.
Yeah,
We tricked them with our smart stuff
in the blanket.
and the blanket. The blanket's what really set it
That's
off.
what it was.
Yeah, it hit us very well.
They're like, "What's that wool thing?"
There was no
That's
burning. or
fabric. There's
explosions.
obviously no people
Yeah,
around.
no, of course not.
So yeah, there was no burning, no fires around or anything. It was just flat and empty with small amounts of debris and rubble where the structures once stood. It was very quiet too. Ours was the only trailer to survive, like we just mentioned.
It sounds like my prom night.
Then
Oh,
out of the
I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
So
it really did.
Wow.
I'll tell you in a minute, but yeah.
Went to
Go
prom
ahead,
in a
continue.
trailer.
so then out of the woods came my brother Eric and some of his kids.
Oh God.
They must have lived in the next neighborhood over. We started freaking out, talking about it, and asking how we each survived.
Oh my God! You see that giant floating eyeball? He killed them all. He killed them all. Pew pew pew.
Looking out back into the tree line, I was feeling hungry, so I said something like, I hope it didn't take out the McDonald's, because I could kill for a burger right now.
He ripped my good T-shirt.
Oh God.
My other brother, Jay, who we actually had on the podcast
Somehow
a
he
while
was
back.
there.
Yeah, he was there too, and he didn't say much, but he was picking up debris and throwing it randomly, just
So,
angry about something.
If this is prophetic, do not invite our brother Jay to a trailer home anytime in the near future.
Right.
I guess the alien
I mean, unless if you want it to go away.
didn't
Right.
miss our mom and dad. Oh, mom and dad died.
Take that, punks.
Oh,
So I did the classic.
It doesn't matter. They're old. They wouldn't have been able to run anyway.
shaking his fist at the
Yeah.
heavens.
Yeah, down to my knees. Nah.
Poor kid.
Very, very slowly and dramatically. So yeah. Then I woke up into the other dream. So that was the
That's
end of
all,
the end of
folks.
the world dream.
Oh, there's a whole other dream. We're in
Yes,
trouble.
It was the Dreamception style.
Oh
remember?
yeah.
So when I woke up in the other dream, I was in my bed here.
In this dream,
And
I was rich.
I was just thinking about how good that dream was, and I wanted to write it down and record it, but I couldn't find a pin. So I tried to write it down on my phone, but I couldn't find my phone, and I kept getting distracted by things.
I tried to paint it on the wall in blood, but I couldn't find my fingers. Wait.
Like I kept getting distracted, like I really wanted to write it down, but then I started, there's my pants. I gotta put my pants on or do something. But I kept getting like distracted by
Pants.
things,
It's a very
and then
important
coming back
thing.
to it, like,
My
oh yeah,
pants are
I
very
was looking for
distracting
my
as
phone.
well.
I have more than one pair of pants. What's happening?
And that's all I remember from my dreamception, and I woke up.
Nice. So,
So you
just
woke up and remembered both dreams.
Yeah,
Even though one of the dreams was about frantically trying not to forget the other dream.
yes,
And pants.
It got crazy.
And
pants.
pants.
Yes.
So my prom night was like that in that
There were aliens and metal
I was
balls.
Couldn't find your pants.
I was
So
wearing
many metal
I was-
balls.
It's all about
Actually, we went to
balls
the
and
after my prom was over. There's a little bit of rain, and so we hopped in the car, went to the bowling alley. So there's balls, okay.
Plastic balls.
Big
All right.
big
I'm with
heavy
you so
balls,
far.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Big black heavy balls.
Big
Anyway.
jingly jangles.
Okay. Anyway, but then after that, I'm like I bowled in my tux because I didn't even bring like a change of clothes or whatever. Afterwards, I went went to
That's
the
fancy.
to
Classy.
the motel room where
Oh.
I was staying the night.
Oh.
No, by myself.
Talking about
And
balls.
Oh.
and when I was
A little
about to go to
optimistic,
sleep,
were we?
Well, no, it was actually just because we lived far enough away from where the prom was happening that we just didn't have time to
He
get back home.
invited several people.
What
and he
was it
just
in another
ended-
state?
It was in another. No, it was in the next town over. But we knew it was going to be midnight, 1 o'clock or something before we're done bowling or whatever. So,
Oh, it was Kansas, wasn't
Every
it?
time I bowl, I find a hotel to stay at.
so what happened is we went up
important.
to like the second floor where my room was. I stayed there, and then
What kind of house was this?
Is
this is
a hotel?
This is a hotel.
This is one heck of a hotel room.
No, it's the second floor.
Was there a pool?
Yeah, there was an outdoor pool, but not indoor. Okay, so so the rain's coming down, but then after a while, you start to hear hail hitting the roof,
Oh hell yeah!
and then as the night went on a little bit, I hear nothing. All of a sudden, the hail stops, and you start hearing a noise,
Uh-oh.
and a tornado literally hit the place where I was staying. It was in Joplin, by the way.
Oh, that explains a lot.
they have a lot of tornadoes.
So they have a lot
there.
of tornadoes. So
That's where my family's from.
Now, when I woke up the next
They don't-
morning,
That's what
the
happened to the
roof,
trailer, huh?
when I woke up the next morning, I went outside, looked across the street. There had been a gas station across the street. There was nothing there, not a single thing, except
Whoops.
the only thing left was a pipe coming out of the ground and one single cinder block next to it. That was all that was left of the gas
It
station.
was
it
a
on
thorough
fire?
tornado.
I looked next to the next building over. There had been a car lot. There was cars stacked on top of cars in every which direction, facing every which direction. Basically, it was, and then when I finally got out in the parking lot, I looked at the roof of the place where I was staying because it had sounded like a freight train. It literally shook the walls when it came through. It had ripped the roof off the top floor.
Nice.
And I was
you're
on
on
the
the first
second.
floor.
I was on the second floor, so it was like I was just below that.
You probably could have got a good deal on one of those cars.
All right? Crashed and didn't sell cheap.
I think that counts as hail damage. I think I can pretty much get it.
You get
for,
all the damages:
Right.
hail damage, tornado damage, other cars upside down on them.
Yeah,
damage.
so it was
Gravity
it was,
damage.
It was very much an interesting night. I got to dance with a girl that looked a lot like Sandra Bullock, which was
Really?
really cool. A young Sandra Bullock.
Oh, that's way
And-
better.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
I
much
mean,
better.
Sandra
We're
Bullock's
talking
still
the-
beautiful, but
well,
that's way
the
better.
net,
Right.
Yeah, the net beautiful. That's what she looked like in that movie.
Oh.
Woo, man.
Ooh.
Yeah, smoking.
And now
Anyway,
I'm
so
worried
that's what
that
the hotel
someday
was
Sandra
ruined
Bullock
for.
will hear this and think less of me.
I don't think you have to
Sandra,
worry about that
you are
one.
gorgeous. Never change.
Yeah, she's timeless.
Timeless.
Yeah.
Timeless. Ageless. Like, she's still like 26.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I plan
Forever.
I plan to live to be 120. So
Yeah. Yeah. I don't plan on living to be more than like 45.
That's
Yeah,
why I
I'm with
have
you on
life
that one.
insurance now.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed these crazy wild stories and the tornado talk that we had, which will give me nightmares for days. But I only sleep like a half hour a night, so it'll average out.
Yeah.
get a solid 2 hours in 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
It'd be fine.
Right.
This has been Yelling at Trees, where sometimes we go,
Ah!
get off my lawn.